I only met him once,
Oh,
and
really? Oh, wow.
like a lot of rock players, I guess my gateway to Alan was through Eddie Van Halen, and he mentioned him in his guitar player cover interview,
Yeah,
and he was specific. He said, "Look," he said, you've got to get the UK album and listen to In the Dead of Night, and you've got to get the Bruford One of a Kind album
yeah.
and listen to Hell's Bells." And I had a really good friend here in town at the local record store, and he took it as a personal challenge to find these sort of albums for me. Like I go in with whatever I'd read in Guitar Player, and I say, "Ian, you've got to find me this," and I'm on it. And he'd get out the big catalog and he'd go looking for it, and then a
Wow.
month later it would turn up. And the UK album turned up, and at that moment, it was sort of a pivotal part of my development because I suppose I'd been playing for about 5 years then, and I developed a degree of technique. But I always worried that because I only took 4 lessons from a very good guitar player
Wow.
here in town when I was about 12, and then I drifted away from it for some reason, and then I just decided to teach myself when my cousins and I formed a band. And I always did worry, like, am I doing this right? Am I doing the right things? Am I breaking any rules here? And it was always in the back of my mind. And people kept coming up to me and saying, "Wow, you're a really great guitar player." And I thought, yeah, but you wouldn't know. Like, you don't play. Most of them didn't even play the guitar. They were just impressed I could play anything on it, I think. And I said, yeah, that's not a good enough appraisal for me. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here. And then I read a Frank Zappa interview where he said, well, I'm not really a fast guitar player or something like that because I don't pick every note. And he made a reference to the fact that he didn't pick every note. He said he'd pick one note and then his left hand would do the rest.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God, that's what I do. And I went, that's how I play the guitar. And I thought, I knew I'd blow it. I knew I'd get it wrong. And I've completely blown it and I'm a fraud. And I thought once people find out, I'll have to give up the guitar and they'll say I'm a complete fake and failure. And then because I realized like even people like Eddie Van Halen, Gary Moore, all the people I was hearing, like they were picking all the notes and I'd never noticed it before. And I tried it and I went, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm years behind. I haven't got a hope of doing this. And then the minute I put that UK album on and I heard the solo from In the Dead of Night, I recognized the legato sound, that
Yeah.
sound. And I
Yeah.
went, okay, so Alan's doing it. And so that says it says it's okay to just do whatever you want to do. Like if he's doing it, then obviously he's not getting arrested for it. So, and then of course, when I heard what he was doing with it, I went, I love it. Like I want to go down that path with it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
tried to copy him as best I could, which was luckily for me in a way. Alan was so advanced and always would be that I didn't really have too much of a trouble of stealing any real lines or licks or anything. I just tried to mimic the movement of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the closest I could get to it was chromaticism. And so out of that sort of came a more personalized approach, I guess.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I believe me, I would have loved to have been able to copy Alan and be that good, but nah, not even close.
Oh,
So
but you got your own style, therefore. I mean,
I hope so. I hope
yeah,
so. It's
definitely. I mean, you have the legato technique. I was the same. I just didn't understand what was harmonically happening. So
no.
I just knew a legato is a cool sound, and I kind of adapted that, but I didn't know what to play over what. It was just like amazing lines. I was like, what is he playing? What are these?
Beautiful stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
just
funny thing. Like, I mean, with Alan's music, as just as an example, but I found this with a lot of jazz and progressive rock and fusion. Like, I am not qualified in any way, shape, or form to analyze that harmonically. Rick, on the other hand, Rick Fiorabracci could easily sit down and not only analyze it, but he's played it. He's played in bands like that. He is at that level, I, uh, but I just still love the music, and I always thought it was sort of proof that you don't have to be at that level of musicianship to appreciate it. Like, because people, a lot of times, especially in the pop and rock world that I worked in, people would be like, that's musicians' music. If you're not a musician, you don't, the regular people don't understand that. And I was like, man, I consider myself a pretty regular person. I mean, I love Alan's music. I thought his music was so hauntingly beautiful and full of emotion, and I didn't
oh yeah,
understand any of it. Yet
absolutely,
I didn't
absolutely.
feel like I had to. I just listened to it.